Putting my mind down.
There's like 37 versions of the story. Are you sure you're not going to mix them up?
I'm gonna get the right one. Out of all 37, it's gonna be the most coherent. Today, we are talking about Peter Piper.
Who?
The origin of Spider-Man. Here we go. Peter Parker is just your average kid at a high school. He's a total nerd. He's got like the glasses and the button-down shirts with the collars and like loves science. And he's like, microscopes and that kind of stuff. And he lives with his Aunt May and Uncle Ben. His parents are dead. Yikes. Fucked up. He goes one day to a lab where they have spiders and well, it's like a science lab, and he gets bitten and he's like, fuck. Now Peter has his powers and he finds out because a car almost hits him and then he clings to the wall like a ninja, like a spider. That's probably a better description. Like a spider, because he's Spider-Man. Thanks for the wine, Brad.
Of course.
I'm afraid we're gonna run out. I'm gonna have to take smaller sips. So now, Peter has gotten his powers. What does he do with them? Peter goes and he makes these badass web shooters by hand. He's like, I've got a big brain, like, I'm just gonna make these things, and he does. And they like go on your arms and they shoot white stuff everywhere, which I guess is like spider material. So that's cool. Good. And so he's walking down the street one day and he's like, and sees a poster for like a underground wrestling competition, which feels like it should totally be illegal, but it's not. And it's like, you win $100 to fight Crusher Hogan, which is the most ridiculous name. And Crusher Hogan's just like big beefy dude, and he's like, yeah, like no one can beat me. I'm the king in this ring. And he goes, and he's just the scrawny kid, and no one expects anything. And then he goes in there and messes shit up, because now he's got this super strength, and he's got cool vision now because he doesn't need his glasses, and he doesn't use his Spidey stuff because that would be illegal, but he destroys Crusher Hogan. So here's the deal with Peter Parker. Like, he's a hero and everyone's like, fuck yeah, Spider-Man. I mean, frick yeah, Spider-Man. But little do people know that he's actually a total asshole. Like, the moment he gets powers, he goes and is like, I'm gonna get famous. Like, watch me go. And this producer comes up to him after he fights that Hogan guy, and the producer's like, Spider-Man, you would be great for our late night TV show. And Spider-Man's like, that's right, I would. And so he goes on TV and becomes a famous dude, and like, he has these insane powers and he chooses to be famous. So dumb. Like, I would be helping my friend Harry. I would be like, Aunt May, do you want me to like pull out 1,000,000 weeds? Like, I can help you people. But he decides to be a total doucher about it and wants to be famous. What size is it? Can I have it?
I have another one if you want it.
Woo! And so then he like pieces out of the studio, standing outside the studio for a hot sec, and this burglar, thief, bad guy runs by, and Peter doesn't do jack shit. And then all of a sudden a security guard runs, he's like, Peter, dude, like, what are you doing? That guy was a bad guy. Why didn't you do anything? And Peter was like, it's not my problem. I don't get paid to catch bad guys, so I'm not gonna. Which is so rude. I don't know what's wrong with his moral compass. You think if he was a nerd in high school, he'd be nice, but I guess not. So Peter continues with his lavish celebrity life, does more shows, and then Peter comes home one day and there are police there. And Peter finds out his Uncle Ben died. Cue the music. So what happens is Peter's like, my Uncle Ben, he's basically my dad, who's alive but now dead. Both my father figures are dead. And he goes and he's like, I'm gonna find out who freaking killed my uncle. And he tracks down the burglar and he's spideying through the streets and he finds this guy. And this is the saddest thing in the world. He finds out that the murder burglar, the murderer/burglar, okay, is the guy that Peter let go by him the other day. Remember earlier when he was like, I don't care, to that security guard? So it's basically Peter's fault that his uncle died. So Peter is ridden with guilt and he's like, I'm so sad. And he's like, I have to do something about this. And then there's like a huge character change. Oh, with great power comes great responsibility. So he creates this dope costume and he has a secret identity, and it's like black and red and it totally works with the web shooters, but he does this to protect his family and protect himself because he's also a photographer at the Daily Bugle. I have to pee.
Go pee.
Can I?
Yeah, go pee.
Cut. Okay, I'm done peeing. Peter is awesome now. He's a superhero. He's great. He's beating up bad guys, ga. And he's like, what else can I do to fulfill my life? And he pursues the ladies. So he has Gwen Stacy, the blonde bombshell, who is so far out of his league, it blows my mind. And Mary Jane, who is less out of his league, but still unattainable for who his character really is. And he ends up just like getting with both of them, and which is just a classic white male narrative in the movies, am I right? He just is like, which lady do I want today? Blah, blah, blah. Then sometimes Harry comes in and is like, I'll take you now. And it's all garbage. Patriarchy, so. These candles smell amazing. They smell like my ex-boyfriend's house. Peter, now a superhero. What goes with superheroes? Super villains. Peter has a ton of villains. So he's got Green Goblin, he's got Sandman, he's got Venom, but then he has all of these heroes that are like weirdly animals. So he's got Rhino, who looks like a rhino. He's got the Lizard, who looks like a lizard. He's got Dr. Octopus, who is just an octopus dude. And he's got a Vulture, who is like a vulture human. And he's a vulture. And then Green Goblin, who's like his main dude. He's like the most known. And this is messed up. The Green Goblin is his best friend's dad. Like, Green Goblin is Harry's dad. That's so fucked up. He doesn't even know. Green Goblin, like, what are the odds? What are the odds that his best friend's dad is his villain? That'd be like me fighting my best friend's dad. That's messed up.
Are you a superhero?
Not yet. Could top it off, honestly. I'm almost done with the glass. Might as well pour the whole thing in. So, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else.
Don't assume gender.
Don't assume gender. Never. I'm being serious. Gender is a spectrum. And if you feel comfortable, be comfortable being yourself. I saw this Facebook post today of a man who was making fun of millennials for thinking gender doesn't exist. I'm being told to wrap it up. Anyway, you guys, it's been real fun, but I just want to let you know that everything I said is a total lie. And that Peter Parker's not real. I am. I'm going to bed now. I'm really tired. And I'm out of wine, so good night. It's kind of cozy. What is this? Ow. Staticky. I want to go to bed. What's this made of? Cotton? It's good.